Hey folks, how you doing? Papa Joe here. This is October 1st, 2019. It is a Tuesday. It's 11 o'clock. Actually, it's 11:15 at night. I did my weigh in and all that Sunday. My weight remained the same as it had been the previous week. What was it, 264? My blood sugar, when I stuck my finger, it was a little bit high. 222 type deal. And that is high. Don't have a clue why. What did we eat the night before? You know? And actually we had ate a taco salad. We ate taco salads both nights. Then Monday morning I had my quarterly doctor visit. I go see her every 3 months. I had the, what is it, A1C. It was way down there. It was 7.7, which, according to our fine government, 7.5 and below is not diabetic. Now you have to understand that when I got diagnosed with diabetes approximately a year ago now, I was like 13.2. Now I'm down to 7.7 in a year. I had dropped those numbers, and now that's where they're seeing what the blood, the sugar is in your blood. And they do that because that gives them an average over the previous few months. It gives them a longer look. This little finger stick, that's short term, just for what you've done in the last day or two. The A1C, that's for a longer look at what you're doing. So I'd done something that made the finger prick show up real high. And yet when they did the A1C yesterday, it was way down there. I had dropped that when I got diagnosed a year ago. She had told me that any other doctor would have pulled my physical card and not let me be driving. She said, I'll give you 3 months to get it down. If you ain't got it down in 3 months, I will pull your card. And if it don't go down, you will pretty much instantly go on insulin. I hate needles with a passion. I didn't want no needles, much less for the rest of my life. I cut out all sugars, a lot of the flours, a lot of the carbs, and I did get it to drop drastically over the next 3 months. Nowhere near enough. Over the next 3 months, it dropped again. Pretty good. Over the next 3 months, it went back up. And it aggravated the dickens out of me. And I'm having the wife and the doctor both saying, were you cheating? Did you cheat? No, I'm 60 years old. I don't have to cheat and sneak food. If I want something, I will eat it. And I'll own up to it. And I told him that. I said, what sucks is I did not eat a bunch of, I had a little Debbie's addiction. I had been staying away from that. I had stayed on the diet and it went up. So, I wasn't getting much help from them two. I don't think they believe me. That's when I decided I wanted to find out what I was dealing with, and when I started this journey, or the education that got me started on this journey. So now that has all dropped. I just had blood pulled this morning. I hate needles. With a passion, I hate needles. So I'm having my blood work done. I should know in the next few days. So by the time I do my next update, I should have a clue. Now I told you I had stayed level on my weight from this week to the previous week. On my quarterly, I've dropped 9 pounds over the course of the last 3 months. That's pretty good in my book. I do not want to lose real fast. If you lose real fast, you get them bat wings and stuff. I don't want that. If you lose slow, then you don't have the problem with the skin there as much. Now, the only thing that I'm messing up on is I don't drink enough water. Being a truck driver, the more you drink, the more you got to stop to go pee. You don't make money peeing. Peeing don't pay. So over the course of the last 30 years, I have trained myself to not consume a lot of water. It's starting to bite me in the butt. So now I really need to start consuming more water. Her and I discussed my diet pretty much in depth. And now, mind you, the wife doesn't like my diet. She claims on my diet she gains weight, but she's never really tried my diet. Only bits and pieces of it. I ain't trying to be mean, but I ain't worried about her. She don't have diabetes, and her weight, her diet is her problem, her fight. I cannot fight her fight for her, just like she can't fight mine. So my diabetes is probably a little more important to me than it is to her. So I'm doing what I have to do. Now, I discussed the diet with the doctor, and she liked it. She agreed with everything. This time her and I got into talking about diabetes a little more in depth. Before it was me, not her not being willing to talk about it. I wasn't willing to accept it. So I was having issues accepting that I had diabetes. As you can tell, I've grown to accept it, and now I'm learning how to fight it. She did allow that it is reversible. She did allow that it is basically all in the diet. We discussed the carbs that I'm taking in, which that's the biggest problem my wife has with my diet, is I am allowed carbs, and that just blows her mind. She was in the nursing field for so long, and it's always been, if you got diabetes, cut out all the carbs. That ain't true, folks. That is not true. Cut out the processed carbs, your breads, mashed potatoes, noodles, pastas, that kind of stuff. Yes, cut them way back, if not out. As a truck driver, it's impossible for me to cut them out because I wind up eating too many sandwiches, which is why I think I did not lose weight, and part of why my blood stick was so high, because I got my head cheese, remember? And I ate a lot of my head cheese. So I think that bread shot me up. She did agree that complex carbs, which is what you get out of potatoes if you eat them with the skin on. I don't have a problem with that. My wife does. Another issue she has with my dieting. when I've been cooking with potatoes, I get them little small round ones. We call them new potatoes where I'm from. And I cook them with the skin on, and I eat skin and all. Any other carbs that I might get, I try to do them with skin on. Most of the diets, like the one she's on, it tells you to cut the fruits out, literally. I'm not doing that. I do take it easy on them. I have bananas, and I have recently found out there's more sugar in bananas than I thought. So before I was eating 3, 4, 6 a day, because I pretty much live off of them driving down the road. I found out they're higher in sugar than I like, so I'm cutting back on them. I have had a little bit of soda in the last week or two. I need to cut back on that again. Been doing my energy drinks of a morning, sugar-free type, or carb-free, which is sugar-free. Need to cut back on them some. She totally agreed with all the fresh vegetables that I could get, or that I could fix, that kind of stuff. The leek soup, she liked the idea of it. So she gave me a thumbs up. Totally agreed on cutting back on meat. She is a Texas ranch gal, born and raised in the country. Lives there now. There's no way that she could be a vegan any more than myself. So, but she did agree cutting back on meats is a good thing. Cutting back and almost cutting out, if you can, the dairy type products. It's high in fat, people, it really is. Being I eat sandwiches and whatnot, I wind up eating a lot of cheese. I need to cut back on it. So, but the diet is working for me. And that was one thing she wanted to emphasize, is that just because it's working for me doesn't mean it'll necessarily work for you. You might have to tweak it, change it, might not work for you at all. We did discuss some of that South Beach diet, Atkins diet, keto diet, and all that. That is not good for a diabetic. It cuts out all your carbs, and it has you basically living off of proteins and fat. That ain't good for a diabetic. So, for my wife, she's doing the keto diet, and has been doing okay for her. So there you go. By my next check-in, oh goodness, excuse me, been a long day. By my next check-in, I should have my blood work results back, and I'll try to remember to give those to you. So there you go, Big Kev. Want to give you a shout out for you, or it's Big Tiny. That's what it is. It's Big Tiny. Want to give you a shout out. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for joining me on this trip, on this journey. Good luck to you. I have faith in you. Anybody else that is taking this trip with me and Big Tiny, please let us know. We would like to know that we're not alone battling this. So with that, y'all remember, God loves you, and so do I. Let's make this journey a good one. Y'all enjoy your evening now. Good night.